Nice
Welcome
to
to the
meet you.
Useful Podcast. I call it,
Thank you for having me.
yeah, I call it useful because it's useful for you, useful for me, and useful for the listener. So I just have
Yeah.
it's kind of like a conversation, but I have a bunch of questions.
Okay, that's good. I'm ready.
It's good. So, I mean, I'm kind of curious about your background because even before you did fashion or anything like that back in Korea, you chose to study Spanish of all
Yeah.
things you could have in the world. So, kind of curious
Uh-huh.
why you chose Spanish and especially in Korea, right? Is that something
Yeah.
that's normal or yeah, curious why you would choose Spanish there?
No, it was very niche. Like I just as you mentioned, like I'm from South Korea and I lived there until like 2 years ago, probably. Yeah. I mean, like born
Yeah.
and raised in Seoul and yeah, most of the time, like Chinese and Japanese is kind of like probably famous and popular second foreign language because English is mandatory in Korea. So yeah, I did study Japanese, but when I applied for university, I thought maybe I speak Korean, I speak English, and if I can speak Spanish, maybe I can broaden my like horizon like significantly. So I was like, why not? Yeah, so I applied for that, and yeah, I studied very hard. So
Kind of
yeah, hablo
curious.
español.
Yeah, like especially in Korea, I'm pretty sure it's like a very studious culture or you hear about it in like the culture, right? So how kind of curious how your parents took that.
Like learning Spanish or like
Yeah. Just like saying I'm going to do
having a
Spanish
Spanish
instead of
major.
yeah, instead of saying like, I'm pretty sure I mean, it might just be an assumption, but like doctor, engineer might be a standard assumption for every parent wanting their kid. So kind of curious
Yeah,
how your parents took that.
like business management, like that, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, I was preparing to enter the Korean, like foreign language high school. It's kind of special, like premium kind of private high school, which very focused on like learning foreign languages, which is kind of unique course in Korea. I prepared for that for 4 years, but unfortunately, I couldn't really like enter a foreign language high school. So like from there, like I was keep thinking about learning foreign languages other than English. And yeah, I found just Spanish in general, like my vibe and their culture like kind of match. And then yeah. And my mom was the one who encouraged me like study Spanish rather than
Wow,
Japanese or Chinese. Yeah.
that's pretty cool. And I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of think you're like a translator of sorts. Like you were in a band, you know a bunch of different instruments. Like you're a vocalist, you're a bassist. So like, how do you view? How do you like put all of that together?
I have so much information on me. Like, of course, I put that information on my LinkedIn profile. Yeah, like I I love singing, I love dancing, I love music. So yeah, I had to do that. Like I was not like very interested in study like all other Korean students, but I really want to try something new, learn something new. It could be musical instrument, it could be I don't know, some like theatrical club. Yeah, so I was a singer. I was a vocal and electronic bass player in like university, like in the small band. Yeah.
Do you
It
think
was
that was part of the reason you even got into fashion, or because right after that you went into fashion, right?
mm, probably, but I don't think so because I mean, even though I took language and literature of Spanish, like my major called like that language and literature of Spanish. Even though I took that major, I was keep exploring if I can learn or if I can change my major. Like I was thinking about change my major to hotel business management because it was one of the popular and famous course in my university. And then I was like thinking about having double major. So I tried to learn like more about trade, international trade, or like export, import, something I can be more global. Like I
Yeah.
can be more like, I can connect Korea and some other countries. It could be like Spanish speaking countries. Yeah. So I think I've been exploring a lot. And the reason that I entered that fashion OEM company, especially, what they have production facilities in Guatemala and Nicaragua, Central America. So they gave me like a lot of plus points because I speak Spanish. Yeah. Probably there was. I'm being honest, you know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, you were using like your degree or your advantage in an interest in a way that you wanted to, right? You could travel the world in Spanish
Yeah.
countries now.
Mm-hmm. I
Pretty
mean,
cool.
Spanish is a tool for me, but something very useful and something very like powerful. So I can constantly and continuously learn something new. Like it could be Spanish culture, it could be like about fashion. Yeah, so I happen to have that job, operation
Yeah,
position in fashion OEM company. Is it funny?
I mean, it's interesting because you're like, you're almost like I mean, you're a translator of very different stuff, right? You're like,
Uh-huh.
I think you're a translator of a lot of different things because, I mean, after fashion OEM, I mean, I'm kind of curious. What did that actually show you about clothing? Like, you see clothing getting made day in and day out. You see the input, you see the output.
Yeah.
I used to work as a production planner as well, so I kind of know what you might have done. So it's like, okay, especially in COVID time, I'm like, okay, I know kind of what you were doing. You're like, whatever we have is what we're making is probably.
I know, lots of headache, lots of drama, lots of accident. It could be like anything, right? Quality issue. It could be complaint from my client. So yeah, what I did was a little bit of everything. I would say I was project manager in fashion industry. I'm not a designer. I'm not a, so what I did is client management, procurement and quality check, color approval and communication between like factories and forwarders, you know. So it was like technically a little bit of everything. I had to deal with lots of unexpected situations. So I had to be a very good multitasker. Is it, yeah. Does it make sense? Multitasking?
And prioritization, right?
I don't know. I had to deal with like multiple situations or issues like at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I did in headquarters in Seoul. And after 3 years, they sent me to Nicaragua as a production manager. So yeah, there in Nicaragua during COVID for 2 years. That's the period that I did something you knew about like production management.
How do you think that
Yeah,
changed you?
like
Like, you're in a new country in the middle of COVID. I mean, you kind of know the language, so you're
mm,
fine there, but new country, not new job, but new location, all of that. How did that change? Did that
mm,
change you as a person?
yes and no. Uh, I really liked working with my local staff. We speak each other in Spanish, of course, and I really focus on how can because I was the like senior manager in headquarters. I was not the director or I was not a team leader in headquarters, but all of a sudden I had to be a leader. So I really wanted to focus on, what I can do for them. Like what can I do to encourage them and like how can I switch positions so they can get motivated more. Yeah, so it was a whole new situation. I learned a lot to be a leader and but at the same time it was very tough because I had to work from 7 a.m. ish till I don't know. Sometimes it could be like 11 p.m., sometimes it could be 1 a.m. because of the time difference. Like I had to work with my local staffs during the daytime. And like Korea starts working from like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. in Nicaragua time. So I had to talk to sales team in headquarters. And yeah, sometimes we have Zoom call and sometimes I had to work after like, alone at
Yeah.
the factory. So yeah, it was very tiring, but I do want to address that I really loved working with my Nicaraguan
Kind
staff.
of
We still like talk to each other. Yeah.
kind of curious, what did COVID change about that situation?
About
I
yeah,
mean,
maybe
because you were there and then basically COVID happened, right? Or did COVID
Ye-
happen before you were there?
I went to Nicaragua when COVID starts.
Okay. So
So
before
like
it was a
when
thing.
Korea started to shut down and the Incheon airport was like I would say 2/3 of Incheon airport was closed. There's
Okay.
nobody. And in the plane I could sleep like lying down. Yeah, like three sits in a row. It was crazy. Yeah, no tourist. Yeah. And production wise, it was pretty critical. All the order format, I would say, was changed to e-commerce because people cannot go to the store. So we had to deal with all the like individual packing and like a lot more human, workforce.
Makes
So
sense.
lots of change and yeah.
So then I'm kind of curious about, I mean, kind of what I assume is like kind of the inspiration behind Must, or
Mm,
you sat in a bunch of rooms where basically you used your skills as a translator and you were sitting between like clients, and I guess you were an interpreter at a color analysis studio, right? So you would have sat there
yeah,
with
yeah.
an analyst and their client for over how many hours, just listening to different people, different sessions,
I
and
know.
kind of curious what that does to you and what you learned there.
Yeah, so that's a very good point. So I've never thinking about like having a job in person color analysis lab. But have you heard of a person color analysis before?
I've never
No,
heard of this
right?
before.
I know. It's as far as I know, it's that color theory invented by some Japanese, and it was huge trend in East Asian countries like Japan, Korea, and China. And yeah, I do remember I did my first color analysis when I prepared for a job interview, because I wanted to look good. I wanted to buy right clothes, like, yeah. So it was that old analysis, but like, so if I want to start this like story, I had to go back to Nicaragua. I was
Okay.
there for 2 years during COVID. So, and I worked very hard, right? And for a long time. So I was kind of struggle. I experienced burnout, and when I came back to Korea after 2 years, I couldn't really fully recovered from that. Like physically and mentally, I was so like exhausted. So I decided to keep my job and I wanted to come to Canada because I wanted to leave English speaking country. I mean, like I've
Okay.
been studying English for my entire life, and I lived in Spain, I lived in Nicaragua, like two different speaking, like Spanish speaking countries, but
No English.
like, yeah. So I quit my job and I was like thinking about, okay, what can I do? Like, I wanted to spend a little bit of time with my family before I come to Canada. So what I found was like English translator in Perso Color Analysis Lab. So first of all, I'm certified colorist. I studied that after coming back to Nicaragua. So I'm certified colorist, but I didn't want to like study about like person color analysis from the scratch and from like within those couple of months. So what I could do is, okay, it's something about color and I speak English. So maybe I can do some part-time job like there while I'm spending more time with my family. So I started that part-time, and it was so interesting because I didn't know like they have that many foreign customers. Some people fly from Canada, fly from like Vietnam or USA to get the color analysis. Yeah, so they had English translator, Japanese translator, Chinese translator. We all had
And
to like,
yeah, just to be clear, a color analysis, I'm assuming, is you look at me and you're saying these are the colors I think you would look good in terms of clothes, right?
yeah,
Or
so personal color analysis is
yes.
about you. It's about not specific brand or product. So every single person has different skin color, hair color, and iris color. So those three colors, if you make a combination of those three colors, like we can specify the category. Like in my app, Must, I like 9 different person color types depending on the temperature of the color and brightness, clarity, and what else? Like contrast. So yeah, it's about you. It could be a very good tool to understand more about you. That's personal color
So is
analysis.
it like, yeah, maybe you'll get into this, but is it more about is it like when you say color analysis, what color? What is the color you're analyzing?
So when you go
The skin.
to the
You're
yeah, when you
analyzing
go
the skin,
to the
right?
consulting, skin color, hair color, and iris color, all three, and all
And what
your
are
features.
and then you get what?
and you get the like your best get to know your best color type and second best color type, so you can have
Okay.
a like specific guideline. This color suits me, so like around my face line, like it could be a hair color, it could be your eyewear, like eyeglasses, or earrings, for
Oh,
or
like a
like
personal
makeup.
style guide.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really
Uh-huh.
cool. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, I know it could be very like unfamiliar to you. And I believe for most of the guys it could be like, so what is this? What is person color analysis? Yeah. New concept,
I
right?
th I think I've only heard of it, or like it's like you see it in distance when you're like, when you have secret shoppers, or there's situations where you have people buy stuff for you. Those are the only situations where they're like they'll do this something for
Mm,
you.
mm.
I think like bigger stores do this, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm like rich enough, I would go to tailor shop and like ask them, like, please suggest me, like, which color should I wear? But we can't do that. Like, yeah, it's just for like very small amount of people, like very, like, I would say like 1-2% of people in the world.
Yeah, and I think everyone deserves to look
Yeah,
good.
exactly. Exactly. Everyone deserves to look good when they want to be look good.
And I
Yeah.
have a question for you then. So why,
Mm-hmm.
of everything, why did you choose men's fashion? Is it like you've seen a lot of men in your life and they're like, oh my God, they just don't know how to dress? Or is it just a market opportunity you saw? I'm kind of curious where you went.
Yeah, that's the very first reason that I built this app is, yeah, I've seen my older brother, seen my dad, my uncles, my boyfriend. So, all right, they always ask me or ask their girlfriend or like partners some advices or guidance, like, babe, what should I wear? Babe, what should I buy? It's like default questions that I always get. And secondly, I worked in fashion. I worked for a personal color analysis lab, right? So I found that most of the fashion and beauty related businesses, they only focus on female customers. Maybe there is reason behind that, like because we are interested in like fashion or beauty, or we do spend money. So we could, like, ladies or female users could be a bigger target. But I mean, what are those, like, the real people who need this kind of service could be men. And you could be shy, you could be like, you could be too busy to get in-person consulting, and you could feel very weird like sitting there like next to female consultant and like doing all the draping, because they're gonna put you like all the color drapes and like keep looking your face and like comparing things and suggesting you something completely new to you. So like, yeah, I just
I
want
mean,
to help people to save money, save energy, uh-huh,
I
high
was going to say it's
efficiency.
something even I've wanted to. I was looking at like, I think maybe 3, 4 years ago, or when you wanted to buy something and everything was online nowadays, and you're like, I don't know
Yeah.
what looks good on me now, and it's really hard. And sometimes you're just like, you know what? I'll just get two colors and it's easy. And I mean, that's the way I live my life. I just get like black and white,
Hmm.
or actually black, white, and gray, and I just live my life out of that.
I mean, it's easy, right?
You
Yeah,
can't go wrong.
I know, but it's easy. Like black, you can just wear grayscale colors like all the time. But the thing is, like, there's specific moments that you want to dress up, or do you have to spend like big amount of money to buy some clothes? It could be a black tie event, it could be business presentation or first dating. So
I mean, for me,
yeah,
it's like I'm doing this out of not by necessity, not by choice. It's like I don't know what looks good,
by
so you might as well
necessity,
know
yeah.
what does work, get what. So that's why I was like, oh, this is really interesting.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Cool.
So kind
So
of
yeah,
curious, when you did watching like those 800, I mean, I'm saying 800 sessions.
sessions.
Yeah. How did that impact your actual, like what you're building now?
It was very interesting because I was English translator, right? So I could compare how consultants like managing all the sessions, like all the process could be different, and depending on their knowledge or experience, I could see the difference of the quality of the consulting. And also I could see all different nationality and race, people like consulting customers. If I were a like Japanese translator or Chinese translator, I couldn't see that difference, I guess. I wouldn't be able to see that difference, but luckily I could see that. So I was like, I mean, if there are people who want this kind of consulting and who fly from like, I don't know, some different continents to Korea, I can make this service more accessible and more like stable. I mean, I don't know how can I
Standardized?
explain it. Standardized, or like I wanted to make the quality but stable quality, because I see the different like quality difference of the quality of the
Yeah.
consulting depending on the consultant. So sometimes I feel very sad. Like they're spending exact same amount of money, but the results could be very different. It's
Like
not
based on the
just the
person's mood
accuracy
or
but yeah, it's not just the accuracy of the consulting, but the amount of information that customer can get. So yeah, I learned a lot during those like full year experience in person color analysis. So yeah, I could input all the knowledges that I get to this service, and like I could verify the result if this like whole process goes well or not. So I'm keep improving that full like flow, I would say.
yeah. I'm
Mm.
kind of curious what made you decide this should be a software. Why didn't you go from like, doing what you're doing in Korea to doing something similar in Canada? But instead you decided to go, I wanted to make this a software route. So kind of curious, there's a bunch of different routes you could have taken it, right? Some people would have made it a book. Some people you could have made it a social media channel. You could have
Mm.
done a bunch of different things. Kind of curious why you decided to go the software route.
Actually, that was very unexpected things that happened in my life. I didn't know about like AI. I didn't really I was not an active AI user before January, I guess. One day, my boyfriend recommended me to like learn AI. AI will be very huge. You got to learn. So I was just thinking about, okay, AI, learning AI. Should I take a course from Coursera, like AI expert like, course, something like that? But he said, yeah, it could be an option, but maybe you can just go to some meetup, like tech meetup, AI meetup. So I went to a Lovable meetup. It was the very first meetup that I attended, and it was last December. And then I started to attend more and more tech and AI related events and meetup and community kind of things. And I started vibe coding from January. And I like my friends, they were saying, okay, I'm learning about vibe coding, and now I know how to use vibe coding tools. So what should I build? And they said, you can start something very simple or something you know very well about it. Like you can start from your domain expertise. So I was like, okay, it could be fashion, probably. And I started building Must from end of February, and now I built my product by myself.
Okay. Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, how was that experience? Just like building software with no tech background.
It was magical. I've never imagined that I can build a website. I thought like ChatGPT is a translator. When I didn't learn about it, when I didn't use about it, like so all those things happening, which was happening like within 3 to 4 months, is magic for me.
Yeah, especially like recently the AI. I mean, like the developments, like even the timeline you're talking about. Like technically, December last year was basically when AI took off into that level of, oh wow, anyone can use it, and it got to a point of if you just have Claude in your computer, you can do anything you want,
Yeah,
or Claude Codex, whatever you want to point it at, right?
yeah. So imagine I was just using ChatGPT as a translator, but when I went to Lovable Meetup, I've learned something like mind blowing. And then I went to Cloud Community Meetup. I was like, what is Cloud Core and what is happening here? And then someone said, have you heard about open cloud? It's like crazy. I was like, open clouds.
Yeah,
This is
the last
so
6 months
fun.
have just like whoosh in terms of,
I
and
know.
I
It's
think
like,
one of the things is a lot of people are not even aware of, or it feels like a lot of people outside of an AI or tech community are not really aware of what's really possible if you
all
just,
right,
open your computer and type.
all right.
I'm kind of curious what you have you like ever since you got to this point of, oh wow, you can do anything. How have you gone around convincing your friends? Have you gone around going to more meetups? Kind of curious how that shift has happened for you.
I mean, like all my friends that I met in AI tech scene in Toronto, they're all like experts. Some of them are software engineers, some of them are founder, and so yeah, we can have like proper conversation. But if I talk to my friends that I had back in fashion industry or Korea, I mean, you don't have any will to learn something new. This is just happening outside your boundary. Is something not yours, but oh, is there a dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like between us in this community that I'm in, it's something very huge, something very interesting, and we're so excited to see like tomorrow what's gonna happen, blah blah blah. But yeah, my old friends, they're still like so what?
I
Like
guess that's
yeah.
everything. Yeah. That's always going to be life. There's going to be people on each end. I'm kind of curious about your stance that you've said before. Well, basically, you've said that AI doesn't remove the need for a creative director. It just changes who the person is and kind of what they have to do. You still have to know all the details, and I kind of agree with that. But even on a higher scale, it's like on no matter what it is, you have to know everything, right? Kind of unpack how you mean it in your. I want to hear it from you because I think everyone has a different way of using AI,
Mhm.
and I'm curious what that means for you.
I don't know, like what I don't think I'm an AI expert yet. Still, I'm like learning, and still I'm like dealing in lots of things. But what I found out using AI, like generating images, like planning like marketing strategies for most and everything, what I found out is I have to review if it's valid or if it's true or not. Like sometimes hallucination is so, it's like overwhelming. Sometimes I believe something. Oh yeah, A is true. Like Klaus said, oh, A is true. Okay. Okay, I get it. And talk to my friends. I think A is true. And friend says, no, it's not. Gotta find out. And like I asked again to Claude, like Claude said, oh, I'm so sorry. I made a mistake. So like every 5 minutes, Claude can make mistakes. So I have to be a one who can review and who can like, I mean, human in the loop is the thing. Uh-huh. It can like AI can make our life easier and faster, more effective, but still we gotta learn. We gotta like filter the information. We have our own criteria to figure out if it's true or wrong. I think that's very important, and that's the reason that I'm like keep learning and working hard.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I agree with that. It's like AI is a hyper productive,
Mm,
like a junior level employee. So like it'll make a
yeah.
bunch of mistakes, but it'll be hyper productive. So it looks good and it feels good. So
Hmm.
you just have to correct all the mistakes. And kind of curious about Must. Like I think the methodology is basically the moat. You have your 17 types, the 4 axis scoring. Like kind of curious how that works as a system, and how you've encoded everything.
So I built on Lovable at the very beginning, and I started to use Claude for prompting to save some tokens. And then I started to use Cursor, V0. Yeah, but so you wanted to know about the whole survey, right? The workflow almost.
Like the 17 types and the 4 axis scoring, how that system works, how you get that from the 3 photos, and how you actually kind of what's the hard part of actually, I think there's a bit of everything is having your taste incorporated with, like there's a bit of your flavor that's always going to be incorporated into the style of Must. So I'm kind of curious how you got that style, flavor, and yeah.
So the whole process is very simple. As you mentioned, like you just need to three photos, one selfie and two full body photos. So from selfie, AI will detect your skin color, hair color, and iris color, and like analyze the combination and define your best color and second best color. And from two full body photo, it will measure all the necessary part like shoulder width, waist, and leg length. So it will calculate all the proportion and ratio. And yeah, in the end, you're gonna get a full report about you. So like lots of do and don't and some guidelines, like specific neckline for your like a best neckline, like collar, shape, double button, or like for accessory colors, pattern recommendation, and everything. And yeah, so I don't have technical backgrounds, right? So I could verify if the result is accurate or not, and I could improve a lot from the initial version to like current version that I'm running pilot. But yeah, I do face some difficulties, especially like some technical wise. I'm still like figuring out how can I use like super base, or yeah,
I
maybe
think
I
there
need some
should be a
technical
way.
advisor.
Yeah, or you can maybe I can just drop something here. Like maybe
Okay.
just like honestly, I'm not that technical either, but I've been able to get around all these like technical restrictions because Supabase, most of these technical products and services now, they've started as long as you have Claude, Codex, Hermes, OpenClaw, something, some sort of agent. All these places have started giving out CLIs, MCPs
Mhm.
for the actual coding agent itself, just to do everything.
Mhm.
So you can just, once you make an account, find the API key or whatever, hand that over to Claude, and then you can have, instead of you going through manually and clicking everything, figuring out how do these buttons work, like you don't know the vocabulary half the time. I think
Yeah.
that's half the issue. It's not knowing what to do. It's like knowing the vocab of what's in the site versus what you're
Uh-huh.
trying to do.
Right.
And that's the part that I found that helps.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I'll try. I'll try that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm connecting what I know and what I can like use for that, but maybe I gotta work more.
Or
Uh-huh.
maybe, yeah, well, you figure it out, or who knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of curious. You also demoed your product at a meetup recently, and you said that people asked questions. I'm pretty sure demoing something in person is much different. How did that feel for you? Tell me about the demo first, I guess.
I love demoing my product in front of people. I feel like I feel alive. I I don't think I've enjoyed my job like this much. This is the very first time that I really like being passionate about it. Like I'm so happy to be surrounded people who is like asking like thousands of questions to me. Like it's awesome. Maybe you already know. Like I was a member, vocal and electric bass player in the band, right? I love being on the stage if I'm confident about my like things and so. So yeah, at the very beginning, I really like demoing my product, and when I yeah, so what like the best comment that I had was, "Your demo was so fun." I was like
Why
kind of
was that?
shocked
Yeah, why was that good for you? Why do you think fun was the compliment that you really liked?
because I think it was Shopify Sunday. And I did live demo on the stage. And what I remember was, as an audience, before I demoed my product, it was really hard to focus on someone's demo if it's not my interest, it's not my sector, or it's not my expertise. I could like listen to him or she like for 10 to 15 seconds and I got distracted by something, or I could go back to my work. But what I saw is like, I mean, fashion, like dress up, this is something like universal, right? I
Yeah.
mean, if I demo this product in front of you, you can think of yourself. You could think of your guy friends, or like some women, they could think about their boyfriends or their younger brother, older brother, and their guy friends too. So it's like, this is a product that people can relate it very easily, and it's something really needed for somebody, but nobody really like focus. I mean, it's fashion related business for guys, so it's very niche too. And yeah, and it
Like
worked.
Yeah, that is a big deal having it work on stage. That just reminds me of like I'm not sure if you've seen the video of when Elon's like, oh yes, he goes up on stage with a baseball bat and his Cybertruck, and he's like, this thing is bulletproof as he like tries to hit the Cybertruck, and the window just shatters.
Yeah,
That's the worst
yeah,
type of
it
mishap.
worked. Like, luckily, internet connection was stable at the time, so I didn't have any technical problem. That's good.
That's good. So again, I guess you hinted at this before. You're doing this alone. Basically, product, tech, sales, marketing, everything you can imagine. You basically have to do it all on your own, including fundraising, I guess, as well. You've pitched to 1,000, probably not 1,000. I'm not sure how many people you pitched to actually, but you've also gotten pulled up on stage to pitch for a CTO. And there's a bunch of different things you're pitching for. So what do you think building solo actually does for you?
I'm enjoying a lot, but sometimes it could be very overwhelming, especially if I have technical problem or when I think about security and privacy of my product, I do need some technical advisor or someone who can check if it's like safe enough, or how can I make it safer? How can I make it more stable in the back end? Yeah, that's my biggest concern and reason that I wanted to find CTO. But still, it's like at the very niche stage. So, I am running pilot during Toronto Tech Week, which was like end of May, and we're in July, right?
Yeah.
So all happened and very recently, and yeah, still I can deal with small technical problems, but yeah, I do need technical advisor. And what I'm focused on right now is what I can do. Like I know how to make content, so I can like slowly start marketing GTM strategy when it comes to the content creation or making some meaningful number, like user numbers, so I can pitch to the brand or pitch to the investors. So that's what I'm focusing right now. But
So also a bit about that. Kind of curious. Also in the last 6 months, as you've started doing AI, I think I'm not sure, but I'm assuming in the last 6 months, your content career also kind of blew up. I'm sure that I think you started your personal account. I don't know what exactly, is it like a translation account? Is it a Spanish account? I'm not really sure how to describe it. Maybe you can go into
yeah,
it and that,
yeah, because I'm just speaking in Spanish, so you can really like, what is she doing? Why
I know,
people
and
are
some of them
following
you're
her
like,
there?
yeah, it seems like you're in Spain, you're doing things I can tell, but I'm like, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, so that like I started making content from last December. It's me speaking in Spanish and introducing Korean culture and Korean language to Spanish speakers. So what I did was like explain about like Korean culture and specific situations. And these days I've been teaching like Koreans. I tried to teach Korean, but it's so complicated to like just explain. It's such a complicated and like whole different language from Spanish. So what I'm doing is searching for some Korean English translation kind of song. There's specific content creator who make songs and they put lyrics like hi, 안녕하세요, like this.
Okay.
And I found those accounts and I started to make borrowing their songs, sorry, and making lip sync content. And it blown out. Oh my God.
Do you want to get some?
Yeah.
Okay, you have some water.
Yes. So it's me. I'm crying. So it's me teaching Korean culture and language.
Did you expect it to blow up when you started? Or what was even your thought process when you started?
So I thought it could be very niche. There are lots of Korean content creators who talk to like Korean audience, but I mean, how many people speak Korean in the world? And also I could make some contents, but in English maybe. But there's so many Korean creators who speak in English, so I wanted to find more specific niche. And what I can do is, I know how to speak Spanish, and there are people out there who want to learn about Korean culture, and K-pop, K-contents is like become a huge trend. I mean, thanks to the idols and some movies or even animation. So I was like, probably it could be the right timing, and it worked again. Yep.
I mean, I guess now that kind of curious how you think that. I think one of the things that I'm talking to a lot of founders and a lot of different people are, and a lot of things that people are struggling with is distribution. It
Mm.
seems like you almost, I don't want to say stumbled into it. You found that you seem like you manufactured a really good way to get distribution into a community. Do you view it as two separate types of things, or do you view it as I kind of view how you view your like the personal brand you're building versus also the business brand you're building?
Sorry, can you explain me more,
Yeah,
like, easier?
because a lot of businesses and things that people are
Mm-hmm.
struggling with is actually distribution. So actually getting people to watch content, but most likely like watch content to buy stuff or convert that into something. And that's kind of the biggest thing that a lot of people are struggling with and a lot of businesses, and even to get their customers to
Mm-hmm.
trust them. It seems like you stumbled upon it. You not stumble, I don't, but you also manufactured
Mm,
it based on what you wanted for something else. So kind of curious if you were planning
yeah.
to actually put it together, how were you like, it's yours. How are you going to do it?
Right. That's a very good question. I think I've been looking for something very niche, but very specific. I'm targeting specific audience, and I'm keep thinking about what I can do, what I'm good at. And I wanted to like targeting very specific audience. I think it's all about positioning. I did fail lots of contents, and I have like, I don't know, 15 different Instagram accounts. I did fail a lot, but I
So what drew
think
you into content?
I wanted to find something I can do regardless of location, time zone. Yeah, because I travel a lot. So when I opened that Instagram account, I was in, I think I was in Abu Dhabi.
Wow.
Yeah.
And doing
And
what? Just
I
traveling
know.
or
So it's another story. So I moved to Canada 2024 December, and I worked for Glovis Canada, which is Korean company, but like in Canada office. I worked there for 6 months, but I found out maybe this is not what I wanted to experience in Canada because I'm working with Korean colleagues. I love them. We go running tomorrow. Like, we are still good friends. But the thing is, like, I wanted to experience something new, but what I did in that company was like reporting in Korean, writing email in Korean with Korean colleagues, eating Korean food. I was like, this is not it. This is not what I wanted. And my boyfriend has lots of business trips, so we time to time travel together. So I wanted to be more flexible, and I wanted to experience something new. And I mean, having a remote job was kind of, digital nomad. You guys call like that, right? I wanted to experience that. So I've been applying for a job, but remote job. But it was not easy because I was in operation. And, if you're not a software engineer or designer, it's really hard to get some remote job, right? So I was kind of struggling after quitting my job. I was traveling with my boyfriend. I was in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and I felt a little bit kind of down, slow. I mean, there's nothing I can do. I want to make money. I want to do something. I just wanted to have something to do in Abu Dhabi rather than just like go to the museum or like swimming in the swimming pool while my boyfriend is super busy. So I was like, I want to do something. And yeah, maybe I can make contents. That's how I started.
wow. And in the last like how did it feel when it blew up?
But it took time. I think it took like 2 months, 2 to 3 months, I guess. What I did was like, okay, now I have something to do, right? So my my daily routine was make one reel a day. So I created and I posted one reel a day until I get the 10K followers. I think it took like 3 months. So imagine like for 100 days, I would say you're creating reels every day and posting. And if there is someone who comments, like you reply and you can have some conversation. So I really focus on consistency and engagement. And yeah, and after that, it was kind of like time to time it goes like this and up and goes like this and up, like still it's going like this. And I studied a lot, just keep checking other influencers, what kind of contents they made blew up, what kind of strategy they use, what is the most popular topic about Korea, but in South America, I would say.
Makes
I
sense.
always keep like researching, testing out, experimenting. And if something blew up, I stick to that format or like strategy for a while. And then I keep researching and go to another strategy. So that lip sync content that I'm making right now is, yeah, it's the latest format I'm doing.
Makes sense. Kind of curious if Must works exactly the way you want it, like the way you picture, or it's like if your mission is complete with Must. I'm kind of curious what changes for me as a guy if I wake up in the morning, maybe 5 years from now.
5 years from now, I mean, you can be more like decisive. You can be more like confident about like styling yourself or buying some things, but I mean, spending money to the right things, but not like white t-shirt, black t-shirt, or gray t-shirt. No. So like, what I mean, like,
It's funny because my pants are the same three colors too.
there's some friends who just go to the same store and like keep buying same color, same size, same style of pants like every 3 months. I
I mean,
know,
you can
but
change. It's like the permutations, and then you can add a hoodie on top, and you add a whole different look. But you have to make sure it's the same color, right?
yeah, yeah. But you know, like, I hope you don't misunderstand. Like, the reason that I built Most is not, you don't have to be stylish all the time. I do love sweatpants, I do love hoodie, but still, if it's necessary or if I have to demo in front of somebody about Must, I pick the right clothes and like right styling depending on the occasion or depending on the image that I want to show to the people. I can styling myself. So what I want to do is make people understand about themselves. But my domain, my expertise is in fashion and beauty, the color analysis. So I wanted to help people in that specific industry. If
No,
you
I think
know
it's
about your, yeah,
no. I was gonna say I think it's really important too because, like, I guess the way you style yourself, or I think the first time you're like, oh wait, I can look this good, and then I think you kind of have a shift as a person. You're like, okay, and then that shifts your confidence level. That shifts a whole bunch of different things as well. And I
exactly.
think it's a key thing. So yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like it's more about, it could be more about confidence. Like it could be more about your like self-esteem or self-assurance. So I don't know, you
You want everyone
deserve.
to feel good. Yeah, everyone deserves to feel
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
When they want to feel good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or I mean, even if maybe I think even Must can have your PJs look good if you. So it doesn't matter. You can look good anytime.
Right. Right. Exactly. I mean,
Kind of.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I guess my last question is kind of like at the end of your. I feel like anyone who ever tries to build something, they really don't do it for the money. It's not really about themselves. You had what you mentioned it. You 14 different Instagram accounts,
Mm.
and then now you're building a business. It's never really about the money. It's more. It's probably a mission more than that. So I'm kind of curious. What's your secret little goal that you haven't told anyone that you're trying to accomplish by doing all of this,
Secret little goal.
or might be a big goal?
Yeah, it's gonna be gigantic. It's gonna be, you know. Are you ready to listen to it? Okay. I want to be a real founder. I feel like I'm still kind of like explorer. Uh huh. Because I don't know. I'm being very honest. Like, I'm an immigrant from Korea, right? What I have is open work permit. So to be honest, I'm facing reality. I gotta prepare PR application and I have to be employee again. But and it made me kind of down for a couple of weeks. But yeah, I did demo again like a few days ago and I found out, oh, this is my real passion. And I just want to keep working on this project because I have passion in it. So even though it could be a side project and maybe I can learn from other full-time job, something else, and I got like more new ideas. But yeah, what I want to do is like following your passion, do what I want to do. I think that's very important. Yeah.
That makes sense. And as you're saying this, I'm kind of curious if having a startup does
If
get you like the past the PR thing.
mm,
I'm not sure, but I
you're
think
not
there is
sure
a
about,
program for a startup, right? For PR.
I've been researching in Ontario. You live in Toronto, right? Now I'm
Yeah.
living in Toronto, so I was keep checking Ontario provincial something, but they're not announcing their new rule, new something.
Oh,
So
like a new draw.
I'm just waiting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They keep
Mm,
changing. I
that
think
makes
in
sense.
July or August I will have that the list of the like it could be express entry or provincial nomination. But let's see. What I knew is I gotta study French and I gotta be an employee to accomplish like one full Canadian work experience. So even though reality is not helping me, but still I want to pursue my passion and I will keep doing this, even though it's gonna be a side project. So yeah,
That makes
let's
sense.
see.
Hmm. Well, that was the end of everything. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much.
So I'll just stop the recording right now.
Cool.